Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly team call. My name is Jerry West, and as you know, this is a very exciting call because we have the fearless networker himself, Todd Falcone, joining us tonight. And I'm going to get this call started just like I always do, reading the company mission statement. We are 100% committed to providing our independent business owners and customers the most attractive and highest quality product lines within the top trending industries. Our mission at My Daily Choice is to bless the lives of thousands of people across the globe with life-changing income and freedom by empowering people with smart daily choices. We are not just a one product company, one industry company, or one ingredient company like most other companies. Our daily brand will send us into the top industries in the world with the most unique combination of products and services to dominate the marketplace. Everyone has a different definition of success, but by becoming a My Daily Choice affiliate, success is a choice. So tonight, as I said, we have the fearless networker himself, Todd Falcone, with me. As some of you might know, I made the decision to participate in Todd's high-level coaching program called A-Team, which is essentially a 12-week coaching program, 90-day blitz. I'm going to let Todd tell you guys about that. Absolutely fantastic. And I may as well just hand it over to you, Todd, because you're the man.
Well, thank you very much. I'm the man. I guess I'll take that. What's going on? I guess I'm the man of the moment. So good to be here. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are hearing me loud and clear. Cool. Good to be here. Excited. Jerry, thank you for the introduction. And I never take this time lightly. Anytime I have a chance to be in front of a group of people that are hungry to figure this stuff out, I want to do my best to help. So most of you should probably be familiar with me. My book, this book right here, is in every distributor kit that goes out for My Daily Choice. Hopefully you've actually read it and started to apply the stuff in there. It's a pretty simple read, but stuff that you can easily apply and teach to your team. For those of you that are not familiar with me, and you're like, oh, that's the dude that wrote the book. Or maybe you haven't seen me speak before. I've spent almost 30 years of my life in network marketing. Literally my entire business career has been in the profession of network marketing and direct selling. The last 15 years I've been speaking and teaching and training full-time based on the things that I found to work well for me in the field. It's network marketing is a really amazing profession. You guys are in a great company with, just insane growth happening. In fact, I was just at your corporate offices this last weekend. Surprise. I was down there speaking for another company over the weekend. I went over and saw Josh and had a chance to check stuff out, and pretty cool stuff, man. A lot of great things happening with you guys. And I'm a big fan of Josh. I'm a big fan of My Daily Choice and HempWorks and all that is happening. And I'm doing as much as I can within the company to help you guys grow and then help you guys as individuals figure this stuff out. So I'm going to go for about maybe 20, 25 minutes tonight, give you some thoughts, some things to think about, and some action steps. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about this 12-week accountability program, this opportunity over the next 90 days to really finish your year on a high note. So the theme, I guess, tonight for me and sharing with you is this whole idea of, if you're going to do this business, and I don't think anybody would be here right now on this call or on this Zoom if you didn't really want to be successful. I'm assuming that if you're here, you're like me and like others that are in a network marketing company and you're hungry to figure this out. Am I mistaken, or is everybody like on the same page with the thumbs up? Everybody is like, okay, I want to make this thing work, man. I just know that when I started 30 years ago, I walked into this opportunity presentation, not even knowing what network marketing was, but seeing it for the first time and being, I don't know, kind of mesmerized, I guess. Wait, you can make that kind of money? Like, really? Like, mommy and daddy always told me that was like, nobody, like people that are doing illegal stuff make that kind of money or something. Like, it was so mind boggling, the number, like, cause I was 22 when I looked at network marketing right out of college. I was going through career fair and got invited to what I thought was a job interview, and ultimately got introduced to network marketing. I never heard of multi-level network marketing, direct selling. I didn't know anything about it, but I came in really super naive, which I think is a good thing, because I looked at it and I went, what's not to get about this? Like, this is a joke. Like, why wouldn't everybody do this? Like, surely everybody I talk to is going to sign up. I don't know if any of you guys are in that same position where you're like, first time you signed up, you're like, oh my God, everybody's going to do this. Holy smoke, I'm rich, right? And then you go, oh my gosh, it's actually work. Not everybody gets it. Some people are like, oh, that's one of those things, or they're skeptical, or they're just, I don't know. Everybody's different, right? I don't know. I was like, I just thought it was a pretty cool idea. Obviously, all of us here think it's a pretty cool idea. And what I want to do is share with you, like, what I think is some of the, like, one thing I can tell you for sure, and being self-employed for a long time, being self-employed is not easy. Okay. Straight up. It's not easy. It requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of patience. It requires, just summoning up a lot of courage and being able to put ourselves in positions that, are oftentimes kind of uncomfortable. It requires us, honestly, to be honest with ourselves. That to me is like one of the things that I found about this business. Like you can't lie to yourself in network marketing. You could try, but it's not, people do it all the time. They kid themselves into believing that they're doing things, but they're really not doing anything. And like being like showing up for events, showing up for Zoom, showing up for calls, doing stuff, but then not doing anything in your business. That's not really doing your business. That's just being kind of a bench warmer, I guess. And there's a lot of people that unfortunately do that. And it's, to me, it's like, why would you want to be a bench warmer? This is, if you're here, let's get you active. And so I want to talk to you, and I want you to get thinking, because like there's one thing I was thinking about this the other day. We have to ask ourselves, like constantly be kind of checking in with ourselves and asking ourselves, tough questions that we have to be straight up with ourselves on. Like here's a question I would have you write down right now. Just something to think about. Like, what do you feel? Please write this down. What do you feel is the number one roadblock that's preventing you from succeeding or slowing you down? What do you feel is the number one roadblock that's preventing you or slowing you down? So hang on one second. I just hold tight for me real quick. Well, write that question down 1 second. And while you're writing it down, I'm taking off my sweater because it's a little toasty in my office. I hope you're okay with me getting a little comfortable. So good with that? Everybody cool? Excellent. Now I'm all casual. So, I mean, even write it down. Like if you're willing to share, I see like a go green. I like that. Darren's like showing me the t-shirt. If you're willing to share in the comments, share with me. What do you feel is that? What do you feel is your biggest roadblock? And because here's the thing, what we want to do is identify what's slowing us down so that we can progress forward. If you're not succeeding at the level that you'd like to be, we got to figure out what that is. Like, okay, fear of success. And some people might think, well, gee, why would somebody be afraid of success? Certainly people fear success. That's a legitimate fear. Like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do when all of this happens, all of this responsibility, all of these things? The same thing like when we're getting ready to prospect and we start to have all these what ifs. Like the biggest battle that you have to win victory over is what's in here. I'm telling you guys right now, it's like this, like if we can just get past what's in here, that's why the thing, like, you have to be on a personal development, like purposeful and personal development mission if you're going to survive in this business. So, because we're constantly, it's like, it's almost like there's this battle between good and evil. Like, we're trying to put good stuff in our mind, but we're always, battling the, self-worth issues. Am I good enough? Can I do this? Why would anybody listen to me? What if they say yes? What if they say no? What if I screw up? What if I'm a failure? All the what ifs that we kind of throw out. And it's really important that we face what we feel is our biggest challenge, because you can't really figure out how to get past your biggest challenge until you figure out, what that big challenge is. Like, time. That's a challenge for a lot of people, not just for people that are not in the business, but for people that are in the business. I'll actually talk a little bit about that, the issue of time tonight. But one thing for sure, I'll tell you this is if I could give you like one really simple, basic, but like fundamentally sound piece of advice that's going to lead you to success in this business, is you have to spend time every single day drumming up new business. That's what we do. Okay. Like, and I'm not just talking about just working with your team and drumming up new business. That's part of what you do, but you always have to be in a personal production mode. There's a term I call it, and I talk about this in blog posts and trainings. I call it the kiss of death in network marketing. And the kiss of death in network marketing is the moment you go from personally recruiting to only working with people on your team. Because like when you're new, you don't have anybody. So you're kind of alone. And then you got a person, then you got a couple people, and then you got a few more, and then you got a bunch more. And then all of a sudden your roles and responsibilities start to shift, right? Because now you got to work with your team to help that group kind of grow. But you also have to still be recruiting and prospecting and drumming up new business for a number of reasons, because it's what we do, number one. Number two, because it's really the best way for you to lead and inspire your group to do more. And number three, it's the secret to growth in your business. So to me, it's like, why would anybody ever stop personally recruiting and gathering customers? Because it's the nature of what we do. I say that because maybe you haven't been faced with this yet. Maybe you have, I don't know. It seems like we have some people that have got some network marketing experience. So I'm assuming it's probably happened to some of you, where it can be quite easy actually to fall from being in this position of being in a personal production mode to only working with your team. And that is something that if you've experienced before, you know how bad it can be for your overall long-term growth. But I think a couple things, because I've got such limited time tonight. So I thought, man, what am I going to share with Jerry's, group tonight in 25 minutes or less, right? So the one thing I would have you do, number one, is ask yourself what that question is, like, what the answer to that question is. What do you personally feel is the number one roadblock or challenge that's getting in your way? And then number two, the second question is, what am I going to do about it? I mean, it's one thing to identify what it is, but then to go, well, what am I going to do about it? Well, I'm not going to do anything about it. Well, let's figure out a way to get you through whatever that challenge is, because if you feel it's like hindering your progress, then we have to figure out a way to make it no longer hinder your progress. Something I talk about all the time as well that I wanted to impart upon you, that I think is something that should be honestly like it should be part of your daily habit. It should be part of what you do every single day, and that's what I call the execution of a power hour. Some of you guys may have heard me talk about this before. I think I might even briefly mention it in the book, but a power hour is when you commit to and this is every single day. This is like every single day we have to eat, right? Every single day we have to get dressed. Every single day we probably should take a shower so we don't smell. Every single day we should brush our teeth so we keep our teeth. Every single day there's certain things that we should do. It's just things we do. Every single day, like, you should probably kiss your spouse on the way out the door. That'd probably be a good thing if you want to, stay married. Every single day you should kiss your kids and tell them how much you love them. Every single day, there's certain things that we should do, right? That are just that I would say are I would say common sense, but they're not really common sense, because a lot of people don't do them, and then they wonder why they're no longer married anymore, because they forgot to say I love you to their spouse, or they forgot to reserve a date night once a week to hang out with their spouse and reconnect on a deeper level. And I don't want to get into relationships tonight, but there's just things that I think if we're going to progress forward in life and we're going to have flourishing relationships with our spouses, with our significant others, with our children, with our friends, with our business, that we should do, right? And like one of those things I believe is doing a power hour every single day. And a power hour is specifically, we're talking about this kind of business. It's 60 minutes minimum of uninterrupted time, where the only thing that you're doing during those 60 minutes is you're prospecting for your business. Nothing else. No, this thing rings, you pick it up, or Twitter comes in and you respond to a direct message on Twitter, or you stop and you go run down the stairs to go do something else. I mean, it's literally 60 minutes of uninterrupted time of prospecting. Now, it's fascinating to me because a lot of people don't do that. And to me, it's one of the greatest secrets to success in this business is when you put time aside, and you put time aside daily, and you make it a daily habit. Like, how many of you would agree with me by a show of hands that moving your body every single day, maybe getting a little bit of exercise, is a probably pretty good idea, right? We all kind of go, if you're disagreeing with that, I can't imagine why you would disagree with that. It would be kind of silly, but I think we'd all agree, 100% of the people would agree that it's probably pretty important to do that. I think it's pretty important that every single day that you spend some time in personal production for your business, meaning personally recruiting and bringing in new business. So and if you haven't done a power hour, I would really challenge you to do that, to set, and honestly, most of my days have more than one power hour. I still prospect for my business as a speaker and a trainer. And I know that the main way personally for me to affect my business growth is me. Right? If it is to be, it's up to me. If I'm going to grow my business, then Linda's asking me what my power hour looks like. My power hour looks like me sitting down, and the entire time I'm flipping rocks over. I'm picking up the phone. I'm calling people. I'm sending text messages to people I know. I'm like, hey, when can we get together? I got something I want to show you. It's literally spending the entire 60 minutes, drumming up new business, talking to people, prospecting, exposing, sharing the opportunity, sharing the product. That's what the entire hour's for, which is what we do in this business. Like, so it's crazy that I should even have to say, go do a power hour. But, the reality is most people actually don't do power hours. I would say that if you're, if you got multiple hours a day dedicated to your business, I don't know how many hours a day that you personally have that you can commit to your business on a daily basis. Like I'm full time. Like I don't have a job. So I have all of the time in the world every single day that I could devote to my business if I wanted to. And maybe you're part-time and you're only working, a couple hours a night. Well, I would say at least 60 minutes of that time, if it's only a couple hours a night, should certainly be dedicated exclusively to and only to prospecting and drumming up new business. The funny thing is, for example, one of the cool things is, well, Todd, what about if a team member texts me or they message me or they got this question? Well, you know what? They'll figure it out. If you're, if it's so urgent during that 60 minutes, I mean, I can okay, if it's a 3-way call with a really highly interested prospect, okay, take the call. But if it's somebody calling you with some kind of crazy question, or you don't even know what they're calling you for, and you're interrupting your power hour to take yourself away from productivity, and then I'll find out if somebody's like got a question about something that could easily be answered by them going to the website. By you not answering your phone, you're actually creating an opportunity for those people to grow more, because then they have to become more self-sufficient. I don't know if any of you guys have any codependent people on your team? Anybody? Any codependent? They call you for anything and everything, and it's like, oh my gosh, do I have to babysit you every single day? You want me to do it for you? You want me to place your order for you? Come on now, right? So that's huge. Number one. Number two, and this is something I still do to this very day. I literally track all of my business building activity. So I've got this call log that I log all of my every single call, every single text message, every single business building activity gets logged in this. And I do this for a reason, because it keeps me on track. It keeps me honest, right? It keeps me, I can look at any day during my week and I can tell, whether I've been active or not. Like, for example, like when you wrap up today, I want you to go to the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to ask yourself this question: would I hire me? I mean, based on how you showed up in your business today, be totally honest with yourself. And if you were the CEO of a business and you got to see that employee, in this case, your activity for today, would you hire you or would you fire you? I mean, that's one of those questions that we got to ask ourselves. I know a lot of network marketers that call themselves network marketers, and when they actually ask themselves that question, they're like, dude, honestly, I would have fired my butt like weeks ago. I mean, I'm not doing anything. So if that's the case, then what do we have to do to change, right? There's something we got to figure out. Why are you? In fact, let me ask you this question. How many of you have ever been in a position where you could have engaged somebody in conversation about this product or this business? Like, the opportunity presented itself. It was there. Like, you could have like, oh, I'm sitting here talking to Jerry. I could have like easily, gone into a conversation. Hey, Jerry, listen, I launched this new business recently. Do you know anything about CBD, or whatever the question is? And then I instead hesitated and I didn't do it. How many of you have ever been, honestly, be straight with me, you've ever been in a position where you could have had the conversation, the opportunity presented itself, but then you instead actually didn't have the conversation? Show me your hands. Like, if you actually could have, but then didn't. Are you being 100% honest with me? All the folks that I'm seeing that are like not raising your hands? I've done it. Here's the thing that you have to do in those moments. You ready? In those moments, what you do is you ask yourself this question: what was the predominant thought or feeling that was going on inside my brain, inside of my body, which caused me to not act when I knew I should have? It's like the opportunity was right there in front of me, and then I bowed out. What was the thought process? That, to me, is where you can start to make some progress by having some of these introspective questions where we're just being truthful with ourselves, because you don't have a boss. Jerry's not your boss. Josh and Jenna, they ain't your bosses. You're the boss. So then you got to then it becomes this like crazy conversation where we're having this chat with ourselves and our spouse walks in. They're like, you talking to yourself? You're like, yes, I'm talking to myself in the mirror. I'm having a chat with myself, and no, I'm not crazy. I'm just getting real with me because I got to change some things because I know I'm not showing up at the level that I know I could be showing up at. Even myself, I'm a high producer, and there's some times where I got some room for growth. I have room for growth every day. I'm far from perfect. I make mistakes every single day, but you know what? I get up every day. And honestly, if I go ask myself that question at the end of every single day, pretty much every day of the week, if I said, Todd, would you hire you? My answer is yes. And the thing is, if you look at my situation, not having to have a job for nearly 30 years, having created millions and millions of dollars through network marketing, the results show based on the effort. So if you want to create some better results, I think it requires us to actually ask ourselves some questions. Now, somebody had commented earlier about time. Like, I don't have the time. And I think that's a pretty big struggle. Like, that's like one of the biggest objections both prospects what are two biggest objections we get? It's in my book. I don't have the time and I don't have the money. That's the two. And to me, those are like the two biggest reasons why you should do. I don't have the time and I don't have the money. Well, dude, I got a great business for you then, right? So, but then you got somebody who's in the business and then they don't have the time. So here's the thing you got to do. Like, I don't know if some of you might have heard the story before, but probably most of you haven't. There's a guy that I worked with years ago, and he comes to me. This is like 1998. He comes to me. I was in this one company for 11 years. And he comes to me and he calls me to tell me he's quitting. And I'm like, whoa, you're quitting. And most of the time people don't actually, they just quit. They just turn into a zero on the genealogy report. They don't actually even tell you. They just kind of disappear, right? They're probably afraid to tell you because then you'll try to talk back into it. But right. So Mark calls me up and he says, I'm quitting. And I always thought he was second level to me. And I always thought Mark was a good guy and I thought he could do it. And he said, I'm quitting. I'm like, what do you mean you're quitting? He said, well, I just don't have the time. Right. And I said, tell me more about that. And he said, well, I mean, he said, I'm really involved in my church and I work 70 hours a week and I got a 2-hour commute. And I go, you got a 2-hour commute. You're in your car an hour each direction. He goes, no, man. He goes, I'm in my car 2 hours in and 2 hours home. I'm like, where do you work? He goes, I drive from Riverside to Los Angeles every morning. And it's just like the worst traffic on the planet. I'm like, holy smokes. I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I'm driving. I go, are you doing anything? He goes, I'm listening to talk radio. He goes, no, I'm not even listening to personal development. Don't get all down on me. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Let's just teach you how to look at your time differently. So all of you that are part-time need to start looking at your time differently. And this is what I did with Mark. I just had him look at his time differently. He looked at a 2-hour commute as a 2-hour commute, not 2 hours of prospecting time. I said, listen, bro, you get your prospect list ready on the way in. Print it out the night before, print it on as big a font as you can, tape it on your dashboard. You prospect on the way into work. You prospect on the way home from work. I'll be there to do 3-way calls and help you build your business. This guy literally calls the cell phone company up. This is 1998. I told him to go max out your minutes. He goes, maxes out his minutes. Think about how much it was in 1998 to max out your minutes. Come on. The guy was talking about a little faith. You guys have no idea how easy you have it today. I had cell phone, or I had landline bills. By the way, I still have a landline. I had landline bills from, $1,200-$1,500. I was afraid to get my phone bill for the sake of passing out when I saw it. Right now, it's super easy. But Mark, all he did is he took a piece of advice from somebody who had some experience, and he decided to look at it in a different way. So you guys have to start taking advantage of the crooks and the crannies of your day. 5-minute drive to the gym, that's a phone call. 5-minute drive home from the gym, that's a phone call. That 8-minute drive of you taking your kid to school. No, take your kid to school, connect with your child. But the moment you drop your kid off and you're driving home, then make the phone call, right? You're driving to the grocery store, driving to the post office. If you're prepared, like I don't ever leave the house unprepared. Like here's the thing. If you're part-time, your prospect list has to go with you wherever you are. Because what happens if you got a break? You got 5 minutes here, you got 5. Now, this is, again, if it's really important to you to break free and become full-time. Now, of course, if you're dealing with like fear issues or, you got to figure out what those issues are. That goes back to question number 1, figuring out what that is. But I think it's really important for you to start to look at your time differently. Like, and by the way, we took Mark from nothing to over 10 grand a month in his car, and we did it in less than a year. I mean, literally, he went from quitting to over $10,000 a month. We did it 100% in his car. Like all of his business building was in his car. Next year, he went on to personally sponsor like 250 people into his business. So it was pretty phenomenal. But again, like I got really limited time with you guys tonight because I know there's just a lot of stuff going on. But here, I wanted you to think a little bit about asking yourself some tough questions and being in a state of integrity with yourself, because it's really hard to be in a state of integrity with other people if we can't even get honest with ourselves. And sometimes it's hard, man. Sometimes like it's hard. I don't know. Like I got problems. I got issues just like everybody else has. I have days that I struggle. And on those days, I got to dig deep inside, and I got to ask myself tough questions. I got to get clear with the reasons I'm doing things. And I got to, find and be in a state of gratitude about all the amazing things that I have in my life, and pull myself up. And, I'm a motivational speaker and trainer, and I don't have perfect days every single day, just so you know. Okay. I'll be just straight with you. Every day is not like, oh, wake up and hi, good morning day. I'm so happy to see you. I mean, some days I struggle a little bit. And so to me, like one of the most important things that's worked well for me to get past the struggle is to always be in a state of growth. If I'm reading, growing, learning, listening, applying, like I got a stack of books. I'm going to turn it. I can turn it a little bit, but I got a stack of books right here. I got books all over the place. I'm always doing things to grow myself. And when I'm growing myself, I always tend to feel better. And I would just say that if you're not doing something every single day where you're on a purposeful mission to grow yourself and your business, like you're on an intentional growth thing. Like, I don't know, how many of you ever been to the gym? Raise your hand. You've been to the gym? Come on, be honest. You've been to the gym? We got some gym people. Cool. You know how you can go to the gym and be all lazy, or you can go in and be totally intentional. There's a big difference. It can be easy to wander into the gym, hang out, shake some hands, act like you're doing something, walk out there without breaking a sweat. And then there's other times you get so focused and so intentional, and you walk out of there going, man, I crushed that. I feel fantastic. You got to do the same thing in this business. So, Jerry mentioned something at the beginning of the call. I'm going to actually type in a domain. I want you guys to take a look at it. There's an opportunity, and the opportunity is ending like this week because we start on Tuesday night. I run a group coach, a 90-day coaching group that I do every single quarter, and I've been doing it since 2008. And what it is an opportunity for you to kind of the analogy that I use, and I hate to use it, but it is kind of a perfect analogy. Is it's kind of like hiring a personal fitness trainer, but for your business. If you've ever hired a personal fitness trainer, like you wrote them a check and you handed them a check, then all of a sudden you got a knot in your stomach. I know the feeling. I've done it. It's like, oh, now I actually have to turn in my food journal. I have to actually get serious about my, like, wait a second. So if there's, when you look at what this A-Team program is, and you hear me say it's like hiring a personal fitness trainer for your business, and it's this accountability program and this opportunity for you to grow for the next 90 days, I understand the feeling of why you would have some initial fear over it. But I can promise you this, it's a really safe place to come play with me for 90 days, to learn a bunch, to see what you're capable of. It's an opportunity for you to really grow your business. It's me getting an opportunity to work with you guys in a group environment for 90 days. Every week we meet on a Zoom at Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. I teach something really cool. I make available myself to get questions answered. You get access to me at the cheapest rate you can get me as a coach through this group dynamic that we do. We have a private Facebook group for lots of interaction and extra learning. And it's really more than anything, it's an opportunity for you to just really get your business moving in a new trajectory. Perhaps maybe you're like this and you need a little extra push. I've got people that are, in fact, I've got several, and this one that's already starting, several 7-figure earners that are in it. You might ask, why would a 7-figure earner do it? Because, sometimes 7-figure earners, they get comfy and it's time for them to get back to work. So it's not just for people that aren't doing. My suggestion is go to the page that you see in front of you, toddfalcone.com/team. And here's the really cool thing. And we're pretty much at the tail end of this. I don't know when. I'd have to check with my team when we're going to turn it off, but we're pretty close to it. You can bring in a buddy for free. So when you register, you can bring one of your teammates. Like you can have a teammate do it with you for free. So the cost of the program, the investment of the program for the 12 weeks, the entire 90 days is $499 for the 12 weeks. But when you bring a buddy and they split it with you, you cut the price in half. That's something that when I started doing this in 2008, we've never discounted the program. We never did any kind of 2-for-1 or anything like that. And like 2 or 3 quarters ago, we tested it out just to see what would happen, for early registrations. Let's see what happens. And people went nuts over it. So we've continued to do it. I don't know that we'll keep doing it forever and ever, but we are doing it for this fourth quarter one. We start Tuesday, so it's happening quick. So if you're going to do it, now would be the time to get yourself registered. Jerry's going to do it, which is cool. So you got your team leader. You got the guy that's leading this call, the Zoom. Your team leader is doing it. I don't know. When I was doing network marketing, I'd be like, hey, if my team leader's doing it, I'm doing it. Because that to me is like, that's if the guy that I want to be at his level is doing it, then maybe I should do it too, right? So get yourself registered. Don't wait. Get over to the site tonight. Get yourself registered. Because honestly, I don't play like this fake fear of loss BS. I hate that. Like I can read through that crap. Like sales. Ugh. I'm a professional salesperson, and to see people, there's only 3 left. And if you run back to the room right now and you're one of the last 3, just maybe. So, look, we're going to shut it down. It's not till the very end unless, I don't know. We're going to have a team meeting and figure that out. But the bring a buddy thing is going to end. So get yourself registered. We start Tuesday. And by the way, there's a 2 payment option. So if you go there and you're like, $4.99 is a stretch, I get it. Do the 2 payment. You can split it up into 2. You get the 1 payment now, and the second payment's 30 days from now. Then find who that buddy is that you want to run with for the next 90 days. It's Pacific time zone, Luann. So we start at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday nights. It's a 1-hour Zoom. If you miss it, no big deal. We record them all. You get access to the recording. You get this big, awesome, where is it? It's in front of me, actually, because I'm getting ready to do 2 of these right now. This workbook where you go through, you have notes and stuff. It's not, and when I say, I actually, we renamed it to Playbook because it's really designed to help you be more playful and more productive in your business. I don't give you a bunch of homework. I actually start sweating at the thought of getting homework. I was at my kid's school yesterday for some teacher parent thing. And I was like, I actually started to break out into a sweat at the thought of going back to school and taking a test. So if any of you have that same physiological reaction to going back to college or going back to school, it's not like that. It's fun. It's an opportunity for you to grow. I don't bite. I might nibble just a little bit, but it's fun when we nibble. I want to have fun with you guys. I want to help you figure this out. I'm a big fan, like I said, of MDC, HempWorks, Josh, Jenna, what they're doing. I'll see you guys at conference coming up here in just a couple weeks. I hope to see all of you at conference for sure. It's something you need to be at. And but again, the site's in front of you. Jerry, I'll pass it back to you. I mean, you're doing it. So what do you think about this? I know we got to wrap this up, but I'll pass it back to you. And I know you're doing it. So you ready to rock it?
I'm ready to crush it, Todd. I like you said, you had 7-figure earners in there. I'm not a 7-figure earner yet. I'll just say yet, but I feel like I need to retool and I need to refocus. And when I saw you talking about this program, I mean, you guys, I don't know how many of you are seeing Todd for the first time tonight or whatever, but Todd is one of the at least most respected prospecting and recruiting coaches in the entire network marketing industry. And to have access to Todd for 12 weeks for $4.99 and bring somebody on the team with me, I just thought, here's something I need to do because I'm ready to run really hard from now to the end of the year because I know anybody that does that is going to set themselves up for an extremely huge 2019. That's pretty much what my plan is, Todd.
Yeah, for sure. And you want to definitely be on the gas these next few months. This is not a time to lay back. In fact, this last quarter, October, November, December, springboarding into the new year, this is the time because we're kind of coming out of a slow period, right? I mean, summer is we got to push it a little bit harder in the summer because it's just harder to reach people and so on. So now, kids are back in school. We're already we're almost into October. So, kids have been back in school. It's time to get busy. And I want to do everything I can in my power to help you guys feel comfortable, feel confident, feel excited, and go make big things happen. Because by the way, you're in a product category, which is probably one of the hottest product categories you could possibly be in right now. I mean, if you just open up your mouth and say CBD enough times, you're kind of done. I mean, it's not hard. But it's not automatic. You still have to do the work. So, Jerry, I look forward to having you on board. Looks like we've got a handful of other people that said, hey, I'm in. So I will see you guys on Tuesday for A-Team. Darren's putting his up there. Darren just placed his order. He's in. Look forward to seeing you, Darren. I'll see you in October as well at the event. And thank you guys. Jerry, I know I'll let you go because you got another training to get ready for. See you guys here in actually Tuesday night we start. So, again, don't wait. And I thank you guys for being here. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate
All
you.
right, Todd, thanks a lot. And that was great. Everyone, just so you know, a reminder, if you're on the Escape Your Matrix series with Jenna, I am the guest speaker on that call tonight. So if you're going to be on there, I'll see you guys in about 25 minutes. Yeah, there's 3 C's in life: choices, chances, and change. You have to make a choice to take a chance. If you want your life to change, success is a choice. Have a great night, guys. Hope you enjoyed the call.